I'm Lauren Obermark, and I'm a PhD candidate in the English department, and I'm also a writing program administrator.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Brewer. I am also a PhD candidate in the English department in rhetoric and composition and disability studies, and I'm also a writing program. There are three of us. Nick McRae is the other writing program administrator. He's also a grad student, and we work with the director of first year writing, Eddie Singleton, to well, the big thing we just did is put on the pre-semester workshop, which is basically a week-long training session for new graduate teaching assistants.
Okay.
So they could either never have taught before or just never taught at Ohio State before.
Right.
And right now we're teaching a class for those same new GTAs, English 6781, and it's basically about upcoming things in the course. So the curriculum itself of English 1110, that's the first year writing class they're all teaching. And then it's also about composition, pedagogy stuff.
Right. So sometimes they read articles written by people in the field of composition studies and kind of talk about bigger issues for teaching writing and things of that nature. So those are kind of the main things that we're doing now. And then there's other sort of pieces to it, like doing classroom observations, writing observation reports of instructors so they kind of have a sense of how things are going in their classroom, with new ways to kind of make assignments and things like that work in the English 1110 classes. It's called Introduction to Academic Writing, and so I think the big hope is that they will take away some basic understandings of academic discourse and sort of writing in the university context, sort of pushing them past what they brought in from high school. So things like working with sources, conducting research with both primary sources and secondary sources, kind of mastering those techniques. So that's a big piece of the course.
Yeah, so one thing I often think of or hear students say is that they move away from the 5-paragraph essay, and most of what they'll do in the semester is this researched writing. And the new thing that they're doing, that they've only piloted, so this is the first semester where it's like the real thing, is this symposium project, and that's having students write in a different medium but also a different genre than the researched writing. So it's more like public speaking or writing. It's a public presentation, so the audience is different.
And there's also like a visual element to it. They're using images to kind of help them make an argument about a topic they've selected in this very structured format. It's designed based on this sort of, based on pachacachas, which are like used in activist communities. But they're these presentations that they're 20 PowerPoint slides traditionally, right? And you have like 30 seconds to talk over every slide. And so Eddie and the WPAs from last year adapted this to work in the English 1110 class, and the students in English 1110 now do 15 slides, I believe.
Yeah, but for 20 seconds?
I
never do the math right. Yeah. It ends up being 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've never taught this. We're just helping other people learn to teach this. Yeah, so they... So that's a new sort of big part of the curriculum. So there's this sort of larger movement in the English 1110 curriculum of sort of academic to public writing. They're learning how to sort of operate in the academy, but then they're also learning how to take those academic arguments outside of the academy. Being a good writer is like a marketable skill. Being a good communicator is valued by employers. And I mean, that's what sort of, I mean, just if you read just like read the public newspapers, you will see that people like, these are articles that come up all the time that like just bemoaning like the crappy communication skills of the younger generation. So to me, I think just being able, which I don't think that's true. I think all of those are sort of alarmist, and I do not think that the upcoming generation has any crappier communication skills than anyone else. So I think part of it is just sort of that you need to be able to. Maybe you think academic writing doesn't apply to you, but I think there's a lot of just basic communication skills that you're going to learn in a class like English 1110. That are going to be marketable in future courses and as you enter your whatever profession you're going into. Just learning how to effectively use words and use images and understand your audience, skills, very rhetorical skills like that.
Yeah, so I have a couple of thoughts. I think in the short term, I guess, for the next 4 years while you're at Ohio State, learning how to write a research paper will be useful in a number of different classes. But I also think an important part about English 1110 is that move from academic writing to public writing, even if all it does is get students to think, I'm not just a good writer or a bad writer. There are actually many different rhetorical situations that I will be in and different genres I have to write in. And I just know a lot of my students come in and say, I'm not good at English, I'm not a good writer. And it's like, well, I don't think that's true, and I don't think that you can just say that. So I think maybe having an awareness that there are all of these different types of writing is a good thing for students to realize, and hopefully it will boost their confidence.
Yeah, and I think too they also start to learn in the same way like that writing is a process and it's hard for everyone. Which I think can just be sort of like a confidence builder as you enter college, that everyone is struggling to write and we're all just kind of doing the best we can, but that you can't just like write a paper the night before and expect to really shine. For the most of us can't do that. So I think that's another benefit of this class is just coming to understand the actual really, really difficult work that goes into writing.
Yes, definitely writing is